So if you've been selling locally with your brand, or perhaps you want to sell to another country than yours, right? You're based out of the US, you want to sell to Europe. You're based out of the Europe, you want to sell to Canada as an example. No matter what country you want to sell to, I want to walk you through today how you can set up your Shopify store to sell internationally. And in doing so, making sure that you collect import taxes, duties, that there's no kind of surprises for your customers, and do so quote unquote the legit way. And just so you know, I'm not about to ask you to hop on Shopify Plus, which costs you $2,000 a month to do so. No, I'm going to show you how to do it another way. If you're new to the channel, you don't yet know who I am. My name is Justin, and I'm the founder at paidadvertising.com, an online marketing growth firm specializing in elevating thriving brands by simplifying e-commerce growth. That said, we spent about $9.6 million in the past year alone and are on track to spend about $10 million this year on ads. So let's get straight into today's video. Now, if you've seen in Shopify's Editions Winter 24, they made an update to what's called Shopify Markets. Essentially, they now have Markets Pro. So Markets is free. Anybody can use it. You just need to have a regular Shopify plan. A couple features of Markets will require you to have the advanced plan on Shopify, but that's about as high as you need it to be. Now, Markets Pro is kind of an add-on to this. So the differences between the two, I'll show you in a second. Now, I first want to walk you through Markets in itself. So again, as long as you have a paid Shopify plan, all you're going to want to do is head over to your settings. Under settings, you're going to click on Markets. And here we are. Now, from there, this is the free way of handling different markets. And I'll show you again the different options between each of the paid options essentially offered by Shopify. So right here, you'll have your default market, which usually is the market in which you made this store, right? Now, first of all, you have your preferences here at the top. So whether you click on preferences or enable automatic redirection, it's going to bring you to the same spot, which logically, if you start creating more markets, you're most likely going to turn this on by default. So I'll show you first how to build a new market and how it's going to look like. So what you simply would want to do is click on Add Market. Pick any of these markets, as an example, Angola, and click Add. When you click Add, and I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to mess up this client's store, but it would show up right here as one of your new active markets. So I would click on it, and then from there, you start seeing all of the options that I have for this specific market. So one of the first things that I have is the languages and domains. So as an example, I could change the language by default for that market. So have you ever been on a Shopify store, right? When you're in a Shopify store and a pop-up opens up, it says, hey, looks like you're not in the United States. Do you want to switch to your local market? Or something along those lines. Well, that is with Shopify Market, essentially. So right here, you could have like an automation right here that if somebody's detected to join from another country, the language of the store would automatically change, and so would the domain as an example. So you could have a subdomain. It says, let's say us.yourwebsite.ca if you're like a Canadian brand. And now you might be asking me, how do I make sure to translate my entire website? Well, then this is when you need an app. So there is the Shopify default Translate and Adapt app. It's free. You can install that on your store, and then you would be able to make a translation essentially for the pages and just overall website. When you open this up, essentially what it's going to tell you is that you can auto translate 2 languages for free, which means Shopify is automatically going to do the full translation. You don't have to manually yourself go through each pages, change all the wording. No, it would be too long. Shopify is going to do all of it for you with 2 languages again for free. Now, if you want to do more, you would have to pay them a certain fee. But usually, again, you should be good with about 2 languages or so, which is why they're making it free. So now going back to the Shopify settings right here, same thing. I could change my products and pricing. So as an example, if I click on this right here, I could actually include or exclude products from a certain market. Maybe you just don't want to pick, because the shipping might be super expensive because you have a very heavy product that you don't want to send out to a specific country, right? Because you know it's just going to cost you too much. Well, you can exclude it right here. Or perhaps on the flip side, you have an expensive product, as I just told you, and you want to increase the price. Well, you can manually increase the product price right here apart from the automatic conversion that it would do. Because right here, you can change the currency default for that market too. Shopify would automatically do a conversion. You can also do, as an example, if you know that your shipping carrier will charge you a 5% surtax whenever you're going to ship to a new country, well, you can automatically increase your product pricing by 5% across the board, right? So you can play with the default products available, so hide certain SKUs or make certain SKUs available for a given market, or perhaps change the pricing at large or change pricing per specific items. Now, same thing here with duties and import taxes. Nothing more frustrating from a customer standpoint than you order something online, you wait for it to arrive, and then you look at it, and then for 1, 2, 3 days, it's stuck at customs, and then you finally get an email from DHL telling you, hey, you owe us $65 to release your packet. it sucks. You want to be able to cover that as the brand for your customers, or perhaps you want to make them aware of it before they receive the package, which you can do through duties and import taxes. So right here, first of all, you'd have to turn it on. And when doing so, I'll show you here under taxes. If I click manage, you have Canada by default because this is the market that we have right here. But you could actually have like an app that would automatically compare taxes for each of the markets, or upgrade the advanced Shopify plan, which is what I mentioned earlier. It's the one thing that I'll say right here. To automatically have international customers collecting duties and import taxes, you would just need to be on advanced Shopify plan, and there will be essentially an additional percentage of transaction fee for Shopify to do that automatically for you. So no matter which way you want to go about it, you have to pay. You either pay for an app or you have to upgrade your Shopify plan and pay an extra fee on each transactions. And finally, you can also add or remove different payment methods accepted worldwide. Now, good thing is if you look at your Shopify analytics, it would show you by default all the markets combined. So no matter where a sale is coming from, it would aggregate all of it, and it would just change the conversion of the currency all into your local currency of the main primary market you have. So as an example, this is a Canadian store. If it sells in CAD and it has, let's say, a Shopify market built up for USD, right, for US customers, in the analytics, you would see just all sales together, just aggregate into CAD. But if you want to see a market specific report, you can do so actually just by going through markets and just seeing the performance of that specific market. So from conversion rates to share of total sales to just sales numbers, you can see that, as well as having reports about your best selling products per market. So very interesting for you to see the differences between markets. Typically, and that's why I started the video by mentioning you don't have to upgrade to Shopify Plus, because if you do upgrade to Shopify Plus, it makes it a little bit easier in the way where if you upgrade to Shopify Plus, well, now you can actually have two back ends of your store. So you split the back ends, both could have their own fulfillment centers. And from there, you could have like separate apps and such. So it kind of acts as two stores, even though your back end essentially is tied with the inventory and such, so that you know the stock is going to be of a similar level on both stores. So it's usually better at scale to go with Shopify Plus. But if you're just starting out, you don't need to necessarily go with Shopify Plus, especially if you don't have different warehouses. You can just do all of it with Shopify Markets right here. Now, the difference between Markets and Markets Pro, which they just released Markets Pro essentially with their editions winter 24 updates, they are the following essentially. So Markets is free, Shopify Markets Pro is paid. So here, first of all, if you want to sell in local currency, well, you have to do so Shopify payments. Here, there's different payment methods offered to you. There's also here through Stripe, a couple different local payment methods accepted. Now, right there's more currencies. You get covered for fraud and chargebacks, essentially. So you get more protection as the merchant, and you also get protection on the currency exchange rate, right? So as an example, if a customer buys from you, you got to refund them. Well, within 30 days, Shopify will give you the money back with the same currency or the same exchange rate for which you paid 30 days ago. So essentially to protect you in case there's a huge rise in conversion rate. Here, you just get better shipping options. As I was sharing with you earlier, you either upgrade a Shopify Advanced plan or essentially you can get Shopify Markets Pro to have better control over duties and taxes. And that's about it. Those are the two main differences between regular Markets and Markets Pro. I'm sharing that usually this video for most people, Markets is going to be enough, especially again, if you're just starting out. If you're below $1 million a year, especially with your brand, I'd say Markets is probably going to be enough. If you're above $1 million a year, then at that point, I'd probably look into at least Markets Pro. And if not, then at that point, you might also want to be looking into something like Shopify Plus to, again, split fulfillment, have better shipping times for your customers, and just better kind of back-end tracking through just really splitting the markets. Now, if you want to learn more about the best ways to drive traffic to your store and learn more about how to run your ads, check out our free school community down below to learn more. And with that said, if you happen to be watching this video and you are an e-commerce brand owner wanting to work with a paid ads partner for Facebook, TikTok, and or Google, also check out the description down below and book in a call to speak with our team today. On that note, check out other videos on the channel for some more useful e-commerce marketing tips, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace.